So let's see. So today, Cece, we good? We on? I'm guessing we're on. Yes, we are. All right. So hi everyone. Pauline Campos from Latex Free World Foundation. I have Craig, and how do I pronounce your last name?
Wolf.
Wolf. Okay.
Like the animal.
I like the animal. Craig Wolf from Celebridex.com. And the reason we have Craig from Celebridex.com here is because in my searches for content that would be beneficial to the latex allergy community, I happened to come across a press release from Celebridex about their latex-free rubber ducks. And they've got the basics, cute little pastel colors, yellow, blue, and pink. You can look on celebridex.com. Anybody watching on TikTok, please hop on over to the Latex Free World Foundation YouTube channel. I believe we might also be live streaming on the Facebook channel. If you can't catch the live stream, you can hop on over and watch at your convenience because the video will stay up. But the reason that I definitely we brought Craig on was because of the fact that the rubber ducks that you see in the stores and that are sold in hospital gift shops and that we let all of our kids play with aren't exactly the safest thing to be handing to our children. And that is because I'm going to go over a little bit of basic info, Craig, real quick on latex allergy, and then we can talk about your product and what inspired it, okay?
Sure.
Okay, so for the anybody new, we have the Latex Free World Foundation. 1 second here. We're gonna switch over to Latex Free. How do I? 1 second. This is my fun part where
that's when they can enjoy all the celebrity rubber ducks we do.
Exactly. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna stop screen sharing here and go into the one that I need first. Because I am still learning how to go back and forth because I'm new at this, and that's okay. All right, so share. Can we see that? Present. Do we see that? I don't see that. Here we go. All right. So for anybody who isn't familiar, Latex Free World Foundation is a nonprofit or not-for-profit organization committed to creating a safer world for latex allergy sufferers. And we provide support and awareness and education for those who are affected, as well as family members, friends, and anyone who needs to learn about latex allergy to keep those that they love in their lives safe, as opposed and also people they work with in their workplace, etc. Because latex allergy is far more pervasive than people actually realize. A few basics for people to understand that I want to go over real quick include the fact that Latex Free World Foundation is offering up to $5,000 worth of sponsoring up to $5,000 worth of free latex blood testing from Quest Diagnostics. Down here, 1 second, close that. All you have to do is go on the website and fill out some basic information, and within a few business days, Latex Free World team will contact you and will get back to you so that you can get that information. You can share it with your doctor. You can go right here, latexfreeworldfoundation.org, click on the top right-hand corner for test kits, and you can get that information right there. All right. And so now we are going to go to, let me stop sharing this screen and then go back to your website so that we can talk about why we got you here, because
back to the ducks.
Yeah, the ducks are why we're here. I mean, who doesn't love a rubber duck?
Everybody, right?
I love rubber ducks. My daughter loves rubber ducks. And quite honestly, we would have more rubber ducks in the house if I'd known about your product already before. But I'm so glad that I found you. All right, so Craig, first of all, tell me a little bit about yourself and a little bit about what inspired Celebridex, and most importantly, why you decided to go with a latex-free version as opposed to, natural rubber.
Well, I was, this was not my field at all initially. People go on my website in the media section, they can see a little clip on how this company began, but we were publishing art from television commercials. We were in a whole different field. I mean, for Anheuser-Busch and Coca-Cola and M&M Mars and Nike, that was our business. Friend had this idea of maybe rubber ducks that look like celebrities. And that's how we kind of segued from one company into another, where we started playing around with the concept. Could you make a rubber duck look like a celebrity and still look cute? Because in your mind, it's hard to conceive. And as you see from the picture, you get a sense who these people are, and you see they're adorable, and
Yeah.
people loved them. And it really took off. I mean, it really, we were voted one of the top 100 gifts by Entertainment Weekly. Then we're on the Tonight Show. We make them for Conan. Now we're making it for Barry Manilow for his tour. It just grew until we're now became probably the top custom duck manufacturer in the world. And but I always, quite honestly, wanted to make a lot of my products in America. And I could not find one factory that could do my really detailed ones, because they're so detailed. I mean, it's just a shame that industry has left. Could not find one factory who could do what we needed here. We had one for a little while. I was making for Harley Davidson here. Even eventually, they couldn't keep up. So as I'm continuing looking for factories in America, I'm saying, well, I don't just want factories in America. I want to make the safest rubber duck in the world for babies, especially.
Yeah.
And we did tremendous research. And what we found was that what was being touted as the safest rubber ducks in the world, they say, forget the PVC ones from China and this and that. Latex is what you want,
Yeah.
And of course, we really did a lot of studying on this and found that was a terrible choice for newborns when their immune system is more vulnerable to getting allergies at any other time in their life is when they're in a newborn. And many hospitals, that's when they have all the tubing, this, that, and rubber gloves. And I mean, let me tell you, hospitals have caught on to this by now, that you will notice in a lot of hospitals now that they do not use latex gloves, and they do have different types of tubing, because they've realized that where these babies are getting their latex allergies in early age in life is in the hospitals before they even come home. So we realized we had something here, and we also realized that the latex people had co-opted the conversation, such that saying, like I said, forget the PVC, the plastic materials. We are the safe one. We're from trees. And as I always point out, yes, so is poison ivy. There's a lot of things you would not touch or ingest that are in nature,
Yeah, really good point. So if you don't
right?
mind, I'd like to actually take I'd like to actually read the content here you have for anyone who is maybe listening and not currently viewing. On celebraducks.com / the good duck. We have the headline: surprise, the safest rubber duck for a baby is not made out of latex.
All right.
Thank you for this. I will tell you right now that I took a good look at your information on the site, and I was checking out your social, and I was like, these guys know what they're talking about. And that's why I wanted to have you on here on Latex Free World Foundation, because so many parents don't know. I didn't know. So what the content we have on this article on celebraducks.com: savvy parents know they should avoid baby teething toys with toxic chemicals. They think they found a safe alternative in natural latex rubber. This is surprisingly not the case, as latex allergies can occur with repeated exposure to latex. Very true, and a fact that a lot of people are not aware of. Cleveland Clinic states that children are not born with latex allergies. A latex allergy develops as one is exposed to latex numerous times in items like diapers, bottles, nipples, and pacifiers. Children allergic to one substance are more likely to develop allergies to other things as well. Also, very true. The Mayo Clinic states that allergy symptoms can range from mild to severe, from mild redness to rash to throat swelling and difficulty breathing. They also caution that, quote, A reaction can become worse with each additional latex exposure, and that one should, quote unquote, prevent an allergic reaction to latex by avoiding rubber toys. Thank you. Everything you're saying here and everything you have written here is checking out according to everything that we have researched and vetted through other organizations like the Asthma and Allergy Network. And I am so glad that you guys have done your research. Dr. Mayank Shukla, I hope I pronounced that right, voted the best asthma doctor in New York City and featured in the New York Times, New York Post, and New York Times Magazine, remarked that an allergic reaction occurs after you've become allergic or sensitized to proteins in the latex. In other words, prolonged exposure to natural rubber latex will almost certainly lead to a latex allergy. That's what happened to me. Your body will identify the latex as a harmful substance, triggering antibodies in the immune system to release histamine and other chemicals into the bloodstream. Boston, here we go, a second. I'm going to highlight so people can see. If you're watching on TikTok, go ahead and check us out on YouTube on Latex Free World Foundation. Boston's Children's Hospital recommends that careful avoidance of latex products may decrease the chances of your child developing a latex allergy. A child who develops a latex allergy can go on to develop an allergy to food items which have similar compounds to latex, known as latex fruit syndrome, such as avocado, banana, chestnut, kiwi, and other fruits. Some companies claim to wash out the allergen protein in latex, but the FDA states that no latex rubber protein product can claim to be 100% latex allergen free. I'm going to co-sign on that one because as a latex allergy patient myself. Aside from allergies, there are other problems with natural rubber latex. Here we go. Rubber will easily degrade and discolor over time with water use due to the fact that rubber is a very porous material, which means that mold can more easily penetrate the surface of the rubber. Also, a number of rubber ducks have a hole in the bottom of the duck, which makes it very hard, if not impossible, to get water out of the inside, causing black mold to grow inside. Many rubber ducks do not float upright at all and are very rough to the touch, especially for a baby. Even other PVC-free rubber ducks are not made out of latex, as they are often made from questionable materials which smell like chemicals, have peeling paint, do not float upright, and are as hard as a rock. So basically not the world's best toy for a baby. Right? So why did we try to build a better duck? We became convinced that there were no rubber ducks in the market which were safe enough for very young children to put in their mouths. Wholeheartedly agree. Our good ducks are considered by many of the world's safest rubber ducks and the only one that a baby should ever have teeth on. All of our manufacturing design and 100% of the materials are made in the USA. It is PVC free, platelet free, PBA free, BPA free, using the highest quality USA third-party tested food and medical grade materials available. Each duck also comes in a cute gift box, which is also 100% made in America. Most people are unaware that the rubber duck was actually an original American invention before the whole industry moved overseas. We are very proud to be the only company making them here in the USA once again. With the rubber duck made by an American company, parents can more easily have confidence in US manufacturing without the constant safety issues with products that are manufactured elsewhere. The Good Duck won the Best Green Toy Award from Drs. Stevan Auerbach, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Dr. Toy, one of the world's leading authorities on children's toys, who approved the first grant of the Children's Television Workshop Sesame Street when she worked in education for the federal government. And benefits of the Good Duck include all of this stuff here, including made in America, latex free to help prevent latex allergies in young children, PVC free, platelet free, medical grades, third party tested, perfect size for babies to hold and teeth on, completely sealed to keep water out so that the mold doesn't develop on the inside, which is absolutely amazing. Soft and smooth to the touch, which not just babies are going to love. Like, I think I'd actually like to do that. That would be fun to hold on to. Always float upright. That's thank you. Odor free, paint free, top shelf dishwasher is safe. This is brilliant. Recyclable. You are Oh, I'm okay. You know what? I'm going to say it before anybody asks. No, this isn't a sponsored post. No, this isn't a sponsored video. We have no financial incentive going on, or partnership or collaboration going on right now with Celebriducts. I found them on my own in my research for bringing good content to the latex allergy community through Latex Free World Foundation, and reached out to Craig on Twitter. He was kind enough to reply basically immediately and was like, yeah, let's do this. And so we're sharing this information with you, not because we're being paid to, not because of anything other than this is information that we think is important for you to have, because number one, I guarantee you, any baby showers I'm invited to from here on out, I'm going to be looking at your site. My 15-year-old daughter loves rubber ducks. Already took a look at your website when I told her I was interviewing you, and she was like, "So how many are we buying?" And I was like, "Well, Valentine's Day is coming up, so I'm like, just be a little patient there. We can pick out the ones that we want to get." Is there any particular spot on your website that you'd like me to highlight?
No, once you go to the website, celebriducks.com, I mean, there's so many things to read. There's a Made in America section. And of course, I want to buy ducks. At the very top on the website, there's a buy duck section, a drop down by Celebriducks, and you go in the duck store and you can see.
You have a rubber duck podcast too?
Well, no, we have done so many podcasts, but usually they're instigated by other people. We don't do our own. We don't really have time for it.
Oh, you volunteer. I see you appear on people's shows. Okay, I got you. All right, I'm going to stop sharing the one that I'm on. Can you see the one that I'm on? I want to go to here. I want to show people the ones that, here we go. People can see that now. Let me see, make sure. Yes. Yeah. All right. I wanted to make sure people were seeing
those are the good ducks. Yeah. See, they're simpler. They're simpler in their design, but there's a reason we did that.
Yeah, I'm actually really impressed with the fact that it's not just the standard typical rubber, like it's not just the standard rubber duck. Like you actually have incorporated, yeah, you can still tell it's obviously meant to be a duck, but you do have physical, it's almost like a caricature, right?
Yeah. Right. It is very simplistic in form, because the babies, first of all, we really had to work on the size of it, so that babies it'd fit in their hands. I know, in the PVC free section, if you scroll down even more on that page where you were reading, you see people send us pictures of their babies with the ducks. What we didn't know is that they would kind of carry them around like teddy bears. I mean, we went into this really blind. I mean, quite frankly, if I didn't own the whole company and I said I wanted to bring the industry back to America, I know I would have been fired. Because it was too much of a risk, too much investment of money and time. And this material we wanted to use, since it wasn't PVC and it wasn't latex, we had to come up with molds that it's called, usually we make our rubber ducks, it's called rotational molding overseas. Yeah. But these, we had to use blow molding, which are like the most really expensive molds. And we didn't even know if the material would mold in there correctly. So you're already into it for tens of thousands of dollars, trying to figure out, will this medical and food grade material even mold correctly? And then when you get done with all this and you figure out how to make some, will babies even like them? It's not like we could do a test market and ask them ahead of time. So it was really a labor of love that we felt, if this works, it's fantastic. And of course, the big advantage we had to make in the US was there's no one here who can paint in the US, small toys, a little spray mask and everything you have to do. It's all gone. That's why we have to finish our ducks overseas. We start even the celebrities here and we finish them overseas, not one factory who can do the painting. But with these, we put the FDA food medical grade colorant right in the material. So when we're blow molding them, it's already in there. So that saved us tremendously in figuring it out. And then making sure they float. We wanted them to float, but we didn't want weights in there because, we don't want any choking hazards. We didn't want, and we wanted to make it as simple as possible. We wanted it light. I mean, there were so many. We tried to noodle this as the safest rubber duck, such that not even any country around the world could knock this off. They should be buying it from us. We should be exporting from America to China to India to everywhere else. That's the safest rubber ducks in the world. If they knew it existed. If I was a mom, and yeah, okay, so it's not like a $2 rubber duck. What do we sell it for? Like $15 on our website. But if I was a mother and I knew they existed, this is the duck. I mean, I'm speaking, of course, it's my company, but even if I wasn't, and I had my child was still that young, and I knew they existed, I'd want this to be the first duck because I knew it'd be the safest one. It would be the best chance of not picking up a latex allergy, and it'd be a no-brainer for me, even though it's not a $2 rubber duck you could buy at Walmart or something.
Right. Like this one's super cute here, the Ghostbusters rubber duck.
Oh, isn't it? Right?
It does note that they're sold out and will be back in stock.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing about us. We're having a run on our line. If you go to our website, you'll see we're sold out of so many things, but our big boat comes in March with all the sold out ones and new ones. And then we're just always adding to the line, always adding new parodies, and it's nonstop. We just really have trouble making enough is our biggest issue. Because like I say, not only do we have our own line, but we're making them for all these other companies and collegiate colleges. And, we do the best we can, but I'm sure if Mattel or Hasbro owned it, they do better. Since I own the whole thing, I kind of do it my way.
Well, you know what? Your way or the highway, right? And your way doesn't involve latex, so I'm good with that. Because I mean, I'm going to tell you, I was diagnosed with latex allergy. Custom Quackers. I absolutely love the name. The puns are beautiful.
Oh, those lines are great. Yeah, my wife comes up with some of the best ones. Like our new one now is Beak Loaf. We just added him tonight. Beak Loaf, bath out of hell.
I just saw that one, and actually I tweeted it.
But he actually had one of our ducks at every show. Our Dr. Frankenfooter, he carried on his road case at every show. He was a collector of rubber ducks. Most people don't know that.
Awesome. So anybody who's popping in on Twitter, I am interviewing Craig Wolf, owner of Celebriducks. It's a natural rubber, latex-free rubber duck that they've got the standard yellow, pink, and blue for babies. And then they've got a ton of celebrity impersonation, caricature type rubber ducks that are absolutely adorable. You can check them out on celebriducks.com. But if you'd like to pop in and support the live, which we would really appreciate, because Latex Real Foundation, we're brand new on the internets, and we are trying to create a community of support and awareness, and we need you to help us do that. So everybody who I see in my feed all the time, I'm asking you to please hop on over to YouTube and the Facebook page for Latex Free World. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, engage with us, show YouTube that we actually exist. And you can do that for free. It doesn't cost anything. Subscribe to the channel. That doesn't cost anything. And while you're at it, please do me a favor also and follow Celebriducks on it's Celebrity Ducks. What's your actual?
Just see, like, so they start to go into celebri, BRI, then ducks.
Okay, Celebriducks on Twitter. Actually, if you follow me, Chronically Spicy, my most recent tweet is not the pinned one, the one right beneath it. My most recent tweet is going to be the one that actually promoted tonight's show and does include the Celebriducks Twitter account. So check that out, please, and show them some love, because I'm in awe of the amount of research, the amount of care, and the amount of forethought and creativity, to be perfectly honest, that went into creating something that, quite honestly, a lot of companies would have just half-assed because they could have, and but you guys didn't. You went the extra mile, knowing that, and the fact that you were aware that latex allergy is something that develops with repeated exposures. I'm just I'm absolutely amazed and totally and 100% I'm support believe that you guys earned that top 100 gifts
Thank you.
vote
It's
that you got.
the latex allergy. It's so much bigger than anyone has any idea.
Yeah,
You guys just have no idea.
do you have anyone in your family? Like what inspired the late aside from and granted, I'm not saying that general awareness and general knowledge isn't enough,
It's not known.
but is there
The hospitals know it. You know it's big because when we started doing research and making ducks in America, and we started looking at how the rubber industry was touting the safety of their product, something in our research wasn't adding up because if it was so safe, we were running into a million issues with latex that people were complaining about. And we suddenly no the latex itself, apart from it breaking down, mold, all the things that happen to the actual product itself, the allergy part was, I'm not going to say it was hidden, it just wasn't talked about, but the hospitals were more than aware of it because like I say, they were not using latex gloves anymore, the tubing for the babies, the hospitals were really up on how big an issue it was, but it wasn't getting out in the general public. All they're saying is, oh, our ducks aren't made in China. We make them in Malaysia, and we make them out of a natural product from the helvia tree. So it's got to be better. And well, no, it's not actually at all. And I figured, well, if we don't tell the story, I don't think anyone else really is. So we just ran with it. I figure over time, all good things in time, people will find us. And eventually we felt, yeah, it was something we wanted to do because we felt it was the right thing to do, to bring the industry back to America where it began, to create the safest rubber duck in the world. But we also realized if it did work and the word did get out, that would be a substantial business because if you really are making the safest rubber duck in the world, that's your worldwide market. It's a very hard duck to knock off.
Okay, so anybody who's listening on Twitter or is listening and not looking at audio, make sure you come back later and you watch the video because I'm looking at the Dorothy Wizard of Oz Celebra Duck, and I am absolutely blown away here by the fact that these ducks are not just, it's not just painting, it's not just a pretty paint job on a standard rubber duck face. Like they've actually gone through the trouble and the extra work of like different molds for each duck face. Like I'm now looking at the Tin Woodman. And these are amazing, absolutely amazing. I would actually consider these.
So you can see there's something with celebrity for everyone. If you're a fan of the Grateful Dead, you're a fan of the Rolling Stone, you're a fan of the Beatles, there's something kind of Ariana Grande, Elton John. I mean, they're not that character, but we're doing parody, but they just give you the feelings of people, the Duckinator, Miss Squawk, Tropical Squawk.
yes, Tropical Squawk, rubber duck.
Yeah, I mean, we did a first version where it was Mr. Squawk, the dressed in, in the blue in the Star Trek, and then another one, the second version. Now this is just coming in March. The Tropical Squawk, like he's on vacation.
The tropics, the last resort to bravely fly where no duck has flown before. That is
my wife. And sometimes I'm not even going to do a character. Like at one point, she wanted to do a character, and I said, "Oh, I don't know how you can get the look on it." And she goes, "Pond control to Mallard Tom." I go, "All right, that's exactly the tagline." And then we had that Ziggy Starduck, and huge hit. Then she came, we were going to do one the toy, the Duck in Black, and everyone. Then she came a toy named Sue, and everybody gets it. They get the cheekiness, they get who it is, and.
The Elvis duck.
Oh my God! We used to work with Graceland. We had a license producing Elvis Presley rubber ducks.
Yeah.
And then we came up with the blue suede duck. We sell thousands of them in Memphis. I mean, we'll sell them all over the world. But we like it as parody better because we think it's cute. So blue suede duck. I'm gonna tell you, getting shoes on that duck not easy, you know.
Oh, I would love to see, just if you guys, I would love to see one in honor of Lisa Marie. I don't know how that could possibly be done, but I think that would be. This is just amazing. This blows my mind. They got the hair, the glasses. You got the Elvis. Somehow you actually got the Elvis
You get
smirk.
the feeling of it. Yeah, if you look at each one, you really get the feeling. It gives you the feeling of a character. It's like, imagine a duck. We call them costume crackers. Just imagine like a duck dressed up to give you
Yes,
the feeling
yes.
of somebody.
And now I just clicked on the page for storybook and literacy, which I think that one is probably going to be the jam for most parents. And I just found the first duck that I want to get. Oh my goodness. Okay, this will be on my list. So when I was little, Wizard of Oz was one of my favorite movies. And my grandfather took me shopping one time, and he was not a big like gifter, right? But I ended up with this he bought me the most amazing Glinda the Good Witch doll.
Oh,
And I don't remember, like, I don't even know if it was a branded doll. I don't know if it was, a Mattel made doll or what, but I mean, she had the most magnificent, crown, and she had the wand and everything. And out of everything that I ever had as a child, that's the one thing that I wish I had not lost. As I grew up, I had 4 younger sisters. For all I know, it just didn't survive them. But
she's going to be retired. We have so many ducks. We're growing so fast, and we just have to let go of some. And I was telling my guy the other day, our Amazon person, I said, I have to retire. I mean, the Oz line is like the 4 main ones. The Wicked Witch is probably the most popular one in the line with Dorothy. And then there at the bottom, the Wicked Witch, people with the flying monkey on the show.
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. And you're right. You have the flying monkey.
The flying monkey. But I figured I have to let go of something. So we thought, well, after this run of Glinda, I don't know if we'll make more of her. This is the second edition Glinda. It's even better, we think, than the first. We just keep up leveling it. But then I think we have to let some things go,
So, you know what? Do the Disney thing where you put them in a vault and re-release every few years.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm blown. The detail, like, you've got the wrinkles around her eyes and like the little like wrinkles in between her, like in between the eyebrows, with like that whole evil thing. And
when you see him in real life in the gift boxes,
yeah,
no picture compares. People are never. It looks so much better online. It's never like that.
Oh,
they're so much better than I imagine when they actually see them in place.
You've got the pop culture stuff covered too. You've got Breaking Bath, Rubber Duck from.
Yes, that was the first one that started off this whole dress up line. I told my wife, I said, there's this TV show, Breaking Bad. I mean, I see the ads for it. I see people doing meth. I go, I don't even want to watch that show. But it's so popular. I go, okay, I'll watch one episode. And I was hooked, binge watched it. It was one of the best things I ever saw on TV, honestly. So that was the beginning of our whole parody line, where we thought we'll do a Breaking Bath, but we're really PC friendly. So he's not making meth. He's making little blue duck soaps,
Oh my gosh, I have to click on this now. You're right.
Oh my God, do people love it? We sell it at the Breaking Bad store in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And once again, that's another sold out one, which will be back in March with
I like how you made it family friendly, and it's one of those kind of like one of those jokes, like in a Disney animated movie that Disney knows parents are going to bring kids to, where the jokes that like fly over the kids' heads and are, that the parents can appreciate. You know what I mean?
I definitely know what you mean. When we were doing one, I said, Scarface, that's a real guys movie. Everyone really, especially guys, really love that movie, but too violent. I don't see that in our line exactly. And then look at it right here. There it is. See the sunglasses? She goes, I got it. Say hello to my little friend. And he's holding a little duck that looks just like him with sunglasses and a gold chain. No machine gun.
Oh, this one. Oh my goodness, this one.
Yeah. And we're sold out of them. I mean, like the last one, actually, one of our celebrity friends gave to Al Pacino because her father. Yeah, so he got the last one. So it's cute right now. Say hello to my little friend, and it's a little duck that looks like him. So that's kind of the way we do it. Everything kind of a better feeling. And The Duckinator is really cute. Bad to the bath. I mean, it's just I'll be quack.
That
It's
was
just
actually awesome because at some point, a lot of kids hit the I don't want to take a bath, and this just makes it this is something that just makes it fun, especially for kids who maybe might be a little for toddlers and stuff, and you might be having to try and rustle. I don't want to take a bath right now, but you can play with the quack. You can play with the Duckinator. Okay.
yeah.
I know this is
A lot of our market is adult. I mean, it's more adult than children. We hit every demographic because we're doing all these celebrities and of our genre. So we have from babies all the way up to people in their 80s, 90s.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's what I was gonna say, that these I see these as great collector's items.
Yeah, people do. We have a lot of collectors, and there's duck stores, and we have European distributor. We have with Canadian distributors. I mean, like I say, our biggest problem is trying to we make these for a client. These
Classic monsters.
Classic monsters. We just make that for another client. The college ones we make for another client.
Okay, I see.
College mascots we do for a client.
And are all of these also latex free?
No, the American, see, because these I can't finish in America. Okay. No one can make them.
Okay. All right, so
you can only do the first part here, the sculpting and the artwork, which no one else does, but nobody can make the finish them. If I use that latex-free material on these, they will not, we could not get any detail in it.
Okay.
Really, you couldn't use a spray mask. You couldn't do all the things that you need to do.
Okay.
Fortunately, for the American-made ones, the babies, we don't put spray masks. We don't paint them. Like I said, we put color into it, and that's why we could make them in America and why we could do it. But no, there's no other materials we can work with that are latex-free to make
and
these.
That's great. I appreciate the honesty here, and the forthrightness, so that people can know what is safe for them and what is not. So,
but for latex allergies, you won't have a problem with those because they are all tested in America. Even though we have to finish them overseas, our testing is done in America, and they are age graded basically 0 for babies.
Okay.
So our line is safe for even babies with latex allergies. So there wouldn't be any issue with our ducks as opposed to the other ones, which people tout as great for babies made out of latex. They're not.
Right. Yeah. And that's honestly,
one from China would be better for you. Trust me.
I was diagnosed with, when my daughter was 10 months old, I was diagnosed with an allergy to something called ethylene dichloride, which shares proteins. It's used as used as a stabilizer in natural rubber latex. So technically it's what makes me allergic to latex. And it's also in dyes and in a bunch of medications. It's in an extremely long list of things. So but the list that they gave me basically at the allergist office basically just said, stay away from, don't touch, textiles, don't touch, it read like if I wasn't working in the textile industry, and as long as I avoided certain things, I was going to be okay. I did, but nothing said anything to prepare me for the fact that latex allergy is progressive, that I needed to at least be aware of the potential for cross reactivity. And these are things that I just ended up learning on my own. So I went from being just allergic to this one specific thing in latex, processed latex to latex to
that's right.
And my daughter was given multiple rubber duckies through her childhood. I know I probably played with multiple rubber duckies through my childhood. Latex is everywhere, and it's not something that even people with the allergy are aware of.
That's right.
Until something new happens to pop up on their allergen list, and they don't know how to handle it.
That's right.
And because they're caught by surprise, So yeah, I completely appreciate the celebriducks that you're creating. I think they're amazing, and I wanted to make sure that people were aware. So anybody who is checking out Celebriducts, and I will make sure that we try to include this in the description box, to let people know that it's the ducks, right, are the latex free.
Yeah, the PVC free. Around the website at the top, you'll see a PVC free section.
So okay, all right, yep. So we're at celebriducks.com. Yep, home, about us, made in America, buy rubber ducks, custom rubber ducks, PVC free ducks. It's the PVC free ducks that are the ones that are safe, right?
Those are the ones we're talking about, the PVC free ones. Because some people don't even want PVC. I mean,
Right.
they feel they don't even want a plastic, the type of PVC, that particular plastic. So they don't even want that. So these really, I don't know, you can almost eat these things. I wouldn't, although dogs do like them. But yeah, so the PVC section free, made in America, is the one that, and it's the last rubber duck still made in America, sadly, where the rubber duck was invented before it all went overseas. Can you imagine if Brazil, like, you couldn't get a cup of coffee in Brazil anymore? It's like bizarre how much industry is given away.
Yeah, that's true. Very, very good point. So can I ask about, just for clarification, the Celebriducks themselves, are they also latex free or no?
The regular celebrity line?
Yeah.
No, that's what I was mentioning. Those are, but as I said, people with latex allergies would have no problem with those, because you wouldn't have any latex allergy based on the materials in these. It's the rubber latex ducks would be the problem. So these are age graded, tested in the U.S., as I mentioned, to
And
age zero. They're actually made out of it's a soft vinyl.
Okay.
And but so they're soft, but it gives you the feeling. That's why they call these things rubber ducks. And I think you brought that up. You're calling rubber ducks. I go, but there's no rubber. I go, yeah, I know. It's one of those misnomers, but we don't know how to get around it, because everyone knows rubber duck is a generic term for a rubber duck. Ours is going to be, and these aren't made out of rubber. None of them are in our whole line. But I don't know can't think of any other name but a rubber duck, because it's a generic term for the category.
Right. I need to know, where's your Frida Kahlo duck?
Which one?
Is she a Frida Kahlo, or is she just one second?
I don't know. We did do Carmen Miranda in the past.
Carmen Miranda, that's what I'm looking at. You need a Frida Kahlo. That one right there.
Oh, there she is. Yeah, we did. We had a license. I think we had a license to do Carmen Miranda. That's when we did licensing back in the day, and those pictures were where we actually took out Betty Boop. We took out a license for.
Yep. I see Duckmations. I see Betty Boop. I see Alice in Wonderland, and I see Uniquack. So the 100% latex free is the PVC ones. Those are the good duck for babies.
Made in America for those are the ones we really for a baby, because I mean, yeah, sure, babies could play with the other ones too, but these really, there's nothing in it that should be of concern.
Right.
The babies really like them.
Right. So if you want to hand your baby a duck, you're not buying them a Celebriduck duck. You're gonna buy them a PVC duck. If you're looking to possibly start your own latex safe allergy rubber duck collection, which sounds like a contradiction. It sounds like saying jumbo shrimp, but it's not. Then
your baby really will be fine with those other ducks. Some people just don't like PVC, but honestly, you'd have to chew on that duck 24/7 for months for any issue. You're not. I mean, they really are age graded, just like to the good ducks, to age 0. But if you wanted PVC free, if you really didn't want latex or PVC or any of those, but they really are. We do feel our line is one of the safest. And you saw on our website, you see that phone number right on the top.
Yes, I do.
Call us. They can call us anytime. We don't care if it's some celebrity or New York Times or someone who's doing a paper on rubber ducks in the 4th grade. It's all the same to us. Yeah. We'll actually talk to people. We answer their questions, and if we're tied up, we call you back. So if people have questions like the stuff we're talking to, call us. Our email's on the contact section, info@celebriducks.com. If we don't respond back, it went to spam and we didn't get it because we respond to everybody who writes us.
I have to say that I was I have to share this with everybody who's watching and listening, or will see this video in the future. I called, you answered, and 2 days later, we're live streaming together. I can't think of. I've been a reporter and freelance journalist for a long time now, and with the guests that I've been working with and I've been trying to book to get on Latex Free World. I know everyone is busy. I'm not knocking anyone, but I am saying that I am blown away by how quickly and how quickly we connected. So when Craig says he's responsive and the company is responsive, they're not kidding.
I mean, if you were a third grader doing a report, I would be spending just as many hours on the phone with them. It really makes no difference to me. That's the way I feel you should do a business. And just talking to people who you feel you can get something back from, was never my way of doing business, and treating your bigger client, your smaller clients different from your bigger clients. I never respected that. I always felt everyone was equal. In fact, I felt my smallest clients probably should have more of my time because they need more help. So I always had a very different business model, and I was always surprised that our business was successful. I always felt it was a given grace. I don't feel it was any great thing we did. So I feel we always have a responsibility to be giving it back. And that's why I say anyone who calls for help in anything for their business or ideas or this, or want to run something by me, I'll talk to them.
Yeah. So I'm looking at your Made in America tab.
And that's a whole nother section where you can see the ducks we made in America. That's different, right? For Harley Davidson, the yellow one. Yep. See, they're a little more detailed. And that factory used to make the original rubber duck for Sesame Street, Ernie's Rubber Duck.
Okay.
And they made them. And finally, they finally took it to Mexico. They finally took it out of the U.S., stopped making them here. What else is new? And then that factory, we found them, and then we started partnering up, and they made our ducks for Harley Davidson, that yellow duck we made for the future farmers of America, all here. That's eventually they couldn't keep up doing business with all the laws and regulations and the costs, and they had to move out of the city, and they couldn't make them anymore.
Okay.
So we're still looking for another factory to make these ducks here, the more complicated ones, but 10 years, we still haven't found anything.
Yep. So here we have, it says it's true. The soft traditional yellow floating rubber duck was actually invented in America, and he has finally come home. Yep. We are the only rubber duck company doing all our artwork, sculpting, and third-party testing in the USA on our whole line.
And that is still true.
Yep. For very complex ducks, we will do part or final production at our 2 factories overseas. However, our new PVC and latex-free good ducks are all made 100% in America. We start in Ohio, then do all our final production in Michigan, and you can read more of this story in the PVC-free section on the top of the website. So for, if you have questions, and
by the way, that's a fun video down there. Excuse me. If you scroll down, that video, the Home Factory, I think it's part of HGTV, they filmed a show of them making rubber ducks at our factory. It's really a hoot. It's a 5-minute video, but people will love it. Watching rubber ducks in America when we used to make them there. And then the video below that is some Canadian film. I think it was Canadian. They made a little short film. They used that duck we made in America in the film. That's what that.
I'm more than happy. We are under an hour. I can play the 5-minute video if you'd like.
Oh, okay. It's really cute. It's funny. If you can expand. Watch this game.
Stop that.
There you go.
And we're gonna go back to PVC ducks so I can show it. We can stop here. So for the good duck, right? The custom. The
good ducks. Those are the guys.
Yeah. So let's see.
The funny thing is, a lot of people say made in America, but part of it's made in America. Or assembled in America. It's not exactly the same thing. These 100%, the metal weights, the ducks, the gift boxes. Interesting thing, when I was talking to our manufacturer of the gift boxes in Illinois, she goes, yeah, daughter got a latex allergy at the hospital when she was born. I go, well, perfect. Obviously we were meant to work together.
Yep.
You'll
So
always find someone if you look who's had this issue.
one thing I'm just going to point out now, so it's important to note for everybody with latex allergy because it varies in severity.
Yeah.
There might be people and talk to your doctor, call Celebriducts and speak with their team if you are unsure. As we were watching the video of the ducks being weighted, obviously some kind of adhesive is used to glue that part in. And there might be people who might be sensitive to that portion. There are people who I know who are so sensitive that if a product that doesn't contain latex at all comes into contact with latex on the production line, and if an employee is wearing latex rubber gloves, or a UPS driver is wearing rubber gloves, if there's latex, it comes in contact with the product between start to you receiving it.
The gluten people know this, right? The gluten-free people, cross-contamination.
Exactly.
It's an issue. It's a very similar analogy.
Exactly, but that's the difference. Is because we're a gluten-free household, and we were more aware of our of cross-contamination and the possibility of cross-contamination when we go out to eat. And we know we basically what I like to call it informed consent, right? We are aware of what chances we might be taking, but we know where we can, what is safe for us to do. With latex allergy, unfortunately, there isn't yet, and this is what one of our main goals is. There isn't yet enough awareness, I think, even within the latex community, allergic community, for people to actually be aware of their own triggers, the cross reactivity triggers, and the fact that that can be a progressive, like all the things we've discussed and all the things that we have on our website and all the facts that even you have in yours with babies being exposed to latex like straight out of the womb. These are things that a lot of people don't know about and don't learn about until they're like deep into how did I get this bad. So I just wanted to point out for people, if you do have questions about the Celebriducts or about the PVC, the good duck, and you just want to check and make sure it is a safe issue for you, safe product for you, reach out to Craig and his team at Celebriducts. I have never been so impressed with a brand that it seems to be putting it all out there, letting people know that they're doing everything in their power to create a safe product for babies to play with, to help reduce the amount of latex exposure, especially early in a baby's life, early in a child's life, because as we like to repeat, and as Craig and his team have pointed out on the Celebriducts website, is that repeated exposure is the cause of latex allergy, and repeated exposure does latex is a progressive allergy, which means that repeated exposure can increase the severity of the allergy for those who already have it, and can create the allergy in people who are not previously sensitive. To lay that out for you real quick, I used to only be allergic or get a rash from Band-Aids. I've got an EpiPen now, and I haven't been in a grocery store since Halloween because I can't go grocery shopping once the poinsettia plants come out during the holidays, because I'm airborne or anaphylactic to poinsettia plants. I could go now, but my husband just got so used to grocery shopping on the way home from work that it's kind of just become, normal now. So awareness is big. Awareness is huge. Always make sure that you are keeping track of your symptoms, of what you are allergic to, and know that there are safe options out there. But along with Celebriducts, any new product that you want to try, it's for latex allergic patients, where it's super important to vet the product first and check with the manufacturer. If they're not open and upfront about the information on their website, it's good to check with the manufacturer and make sure it's a safe product to bring into your home. And I myself am looking forward to checking, looking and seeing what's available. And the good ducks for babies I think are amazing. I'm so happy to see a product and a company that is not only American made, a product that is not only American made, but that is specifically geared for babies, not made out of natural rubber latex. I am.
You know what the funny thing is in all this? You would think this would be our biggest seller, right? Because all the babies and the safest rubber duck in the world, you would think this would be worldwide. We can't keep up. But we'll sell 10 times more Harry Ponder, crocodile flock, the floating stones. We'll sell 10 times more of these, which I'm very grateful for. Don't get me wrong, but it's because people don't understand this issue. And when you're a baby is when you're the most vulnerable, your immune system, to these latex allergies. So you would think every hospital gift shop, right, would have these everywhere. They'd be the recommended product. And I'm sure that's what a bigger company would probably do. But like I say, it's there's only so much we can do, and
unfortunately, I will tell you, just granted, this is not all hospitals. I am not by any means pointing the finger at all hospitals, but unless, in my experience, and we had a guest previously on who. Larita Teado, she's the founder of the Larita Spina Bifida product. She's a spina bifida patient and a spina bifida advocate. And she shared a story about how even though she had confirmed latex allergy, she was in the hospital for a procedure. If her mother had not been with her, she would have ended up having used a latex tipped catheter because and they do have latex. There's still latex that's used in a lot of medical procedures, the IV bags, catheter tips, in even in the dentist office. So we're like there's, and one of the things that you point out, that hospitals are aware that babies are being exposed to this. But what we're trying to do, and one of the things that having you on, I think, is going to help with awareness and getting the message out, is the fact that it's not just the rubber gloves, and it's not just the baby bottle nipples, and it's not just the pacifiers. There's so much more to latex allergy. It's a really complex issue. And starting with something simple like a rubber duck, a latex-free rubber duck for a baby, pardon, I think is a great way to introduce people to the concept of thinking outside of the box, in that sometimes it's the most obvious things that are ubiquitous with different stages of our lives that we see as innocent and don't realize that's potentially an allergen, or it's an allergic trigger, or that's why I'm getting sick, or that's why I'm having and that's why my child is getting sick, and that's something that we need to address. So yeah, definitely, I wanted to say I'm impressed with what you're doing. That's why I asked you to come on. I'm so glad that you were able and free to do so. I'm definitely going to be going searching on your site with my daughter, so we can choose a duck to buy. Again, letting everybody know, full disclosure, this was our invitation from Latex Free World Foundation to Celebriducts and Craig to come on to our show as a guest. There's nothing being sponsored. Always check, do your own research. look into check out the website at celebraducks.com, and you can see for yourself what's listed. Do note that the ducks are the latex-free portion, are latex-free options, not the monsters and not the college mascots. So if you have any questions about anything that you'd like to buy or are interested in buying on their website, to be safe, it's best. I would highly recommend that you make sure that you contact their team to confirm that what you're interested in is safe for you or the intended recipient. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So is there anything else you would like to share, Craig?
Oh, thank you so much. It's a pleasure being on here. We don't, like I said, we don't advertise or sales reps or anything. I mean, people find us and we go through, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of our ducks. I just hope one day that the good duck gets the voice out there, that we're making ducks in America again, and that we have something that is really of import, we feel, to especially babies. And like I say, I think, one point we did have a sales guy who went to Walmart because they wanted products made in America, and we brought him the good ducks.
Yep.
But they wanted them for almost nothing. And so we weren't going to work with them at that time. And then at the other time, the biggest problem we have is you can put them on the shelf, but we're an educational story. How many, like the time we spent tonight, if you just see it on the shelf, you go, okay, little pig, oh, look, there's a duck for $2, holding, a basketball. I'm getting that one. It's like, I mean, the story is all over the box. You have to read the box or go to the website. So if you have an educational product, it's a much harder thing until you come above the radar. So we'll always be dealing with that for a while, and we're just happy.
One of the reasons that I wanted to have you on the show specifically was because I know that people, the average person isn't going to be looking for the latex-free duck unless they're aware,
Right.
or unless they have the allergy themselves. The average 15 years ago when my daughter was born, I wasn't looking for latex-free. She was using regular baby bottles, for crying out loud. I didn't know, if I could go back and fix all of that, then
nobody knows, right? We didn't know either. All we were trying to do is make ducks in America. We did not know about the whole latex issue ourselves. We were just trying to bring the industry back. But you do enough research, I was watching some guys who tried it in the past. They had these PVC free, why PVC free, this, that, and the other thing. I watched the rubber duck industry. They were really touting the safety of this and that. Then we just did, what they say on Star Trek, the answers are out there.
They are.
And we just started really doing our research and oh boy, there's a lot here that's not being spoken of. And
So give me 1 second. So I think we should probably wrap up this evening.
Yep.
Before we do, I just wanted to stop sharing this screen so I can go back to Latex Free World and just show people, for anybody who is unaware. 1 second. Here we go. All right. So for those who are new or unaware, Latex Free World Foundation, you can support by donating here. You can get a free blood test kit here that you can share the results with your doctor. Latex Free World is sponsoring up to $5,000 worth of free blood tests, which according to, if you do your research, you'll be able to find information stating that from verifiable sources stating that blood testing is safer for latex allergy sufferers than skin testing, because any exposure, including skin prick testing of any items that contain latex proteins or similar proteins, can increase the allergy or actually result in potential anaphylaxis. So be aware of that, and always discuss the safety of any testing with your doctor. If it involves skin prick testing is what's being suggested, which is why we are sponsoring blood testing. You can also check out on the Latex Free World You can learn about latex allergy. You can find support. You can get involved. You can check out the blog, which I write and is also edited by my amazing assistant editor, Beth Bartlett. So thank you to Beth, because she catches all of my typos, because I am I have ADHD, and Beth works with my brain. She's magic. So I wanted to say thank you to Beth for helping me with the and being my right hand writer and editor on the blog. Thank you to Latex Free World Foundation for the opportunity to work with this foundation and create this and work in the building of this platform to create allergy awareness for a condition I'm living with myself. And thank you to Craig and Celebriducts for not only creating a product that is, I think, essential, but also is, as you stated, an educational product that I think as awareness grows, I think it's going to be an amazing thing, and I really hope to see amazing things happen with it. And I hope to have you on the show again. I will be writing a blog post. And
if you have the show, a link to it, we'll definitely this podcast, if it's in a link, we'll put it in our social media. People can listen to it at their leisure.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll share. We will share. When we do lives, we do keep the recordings available. So it's not just live and done. People can watch at their leisure after the fact. And I'm definitely going to write a blog post about the product too, about the baby ducks. Pardon me, the good ducks. But I wanted to say thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. And I am so glad that we connected. And I look forward to working with you and helping spread awareness with you in the future about latex allergy. So thank you for the work you're doing.
Keep keeping up that good fight. We really value what you guys do. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a lovely evening, and thank you for joining us tonight, Craig.
Oh, same to you. You take care.
You too. Bye-bye.